What is going on? Charles Bodenston just wanted to make sure everything is good. It looks like the audio is fantastic and we are okay, good. Just wanted to make sure everything is good. If you guys have any questions or anything, obviously leave it in the comments below. Just wanted to start today by obviously saying Happy New Year. And I know it's the 28th of January. However, this is actually the time when everyone has given up. It's already the new year, okay? We're 28 days in, we're a month in, the month is already over of January, okay? What have you done? And this is the thing, I'm reading the book When by Steven Pinker. I think it's Steven Pinker. And he talks about it. We have arbitrary dates. The first day of spring, New Year, birthday, anniversary. We have these arbitrary dates where we're going to change. And what he was talking about is, why do we need an arbitrary date to change? If we see something's broken, if we see our relationship isn't good, if we see our body or our mindset or where we're going or we're unhappy, we got to change it now. Okay, so we wait until this arbitrary date when in fact we're really, I'm getting a little distracted because I'm looking at myself. What we really should be doing is saying, okay, you know what? Here's the example. So I was out last night and you could hear my voice. I was yelling because the place was so loud and talking to this very attractive girl, very confident, very alpha girl, but feminine because you know, I was talking with her, and that's the thing is that people, and I'll get to the outcome from this, okay? Because a lot of people see who I am now, and this is how I've always been, which is insane. However, so I'm talking to this girl, very attractive, blah, blah, blah. And my buddy was also talking to her, but she liked me, obviously. And she's like, okay, let's go to another bar separately. So it was just her and I and everything else. And then she just started becoming like really just unfriendly and whatever. So I go, listen, you know, it's the end of the night. If nothing's going to happen, we should just call it here. You've been kind of a bitch. And she like floors it, freaks out, you know, stands up and is yelling and whatever. And I'm just like, that's what you were. Or that, like in my mind, I wasn't like exacerbating because, you know, they are mutual friends and, you know, it was a little over the top. But so this is what happens. This is really funny. So I go out, I close the tab, and I'm about to get up, and I see she's still there, but she's talking to a guy. And the guy, he's taller, he's handsome, he's wearing a suit. So most people would get insecure. So I go to the bathroom, and I come out, and she's not there anymore. So then I walk out of the bar, and I see her sitting on one of the benches. And this is like 1:32 a.m. And she's sitting there, and I walk over, and I put my arm around her, and I'm like, listen, life is crazy, huh? And you think about it, and why am I telling you this story? I'm telling you the story because she was calm, she like leaned in, we talked about it, and that awareness of knowing you have to put this person in their place, even if there's mutual friends, the outcome that I wanted was not what I wanted because I had open houses this morning. So where am I going with this? First of all, my awareness to walk over and not be like, oh, I'm so sorry and everything else. My awareness was, listen, you're out of line. You were being a bitch and I'm going to call you out on it, you know? So that's one example within a relationship that if someone is not living up to the expectations of what you want or there's one thing to say, you should go to the gym, you should clean, you've been mean. But when you say, when you try and work it out, like the whole time I was trying to work it out while she was in this little temper tantrum state of like a half an hour. And then I just said, you know what, listen, if it's not gonna work out, there's no point in me being here, okay? I'm gonna go home, I have an open house tomorrow, I have to wake up for, and you can go on your merry way. Why? Because you've been a bitch. I said actually raging bitch. And she left, you know, we had a good comfort moment, exchanged contact information. I was like, yeah, you know, let's see if we can, you know, go out this week because I'm going to Big Sur. Why do I tell you all this? Because people see that interaction and they say, wow, I can't believe she was able to actually, you know, like at the end say, wow, okay, you know what, let's work this out. I went through years where I would apologize, or I went through years where I would put in all of this effort and look for an outcome. The outcome with her was I wanted to go home with her. I wanted her to come home with me. That was the outcome. So I was putting in all this effort, and the outcome was one of us is good. We're going to be sleeping together at the end of this. Never ended up happening. But that was the thing is, if I really wanted an outcome, if I really wanted the outcome without looking at the effort, I was putting in so much effort that the entire night, and we were really jiving, we really liked each other, and the outcome was not aligned to what I wanted. Don't look for the outcome. Don't look for the outcome. You have to look at the situation as it is, okay? The outcome will come most likely if you adjust. There's going to be a lot of things that I'm going to be saying today. So obviously the outcome didn't work out. How does this apply to your life? Number one is going to the gym. I don't know when you're going to, Simon Sinek said this. Simon Sinek said, I don't know when it's going to happen, but if you go to the gym and you go consistently, and why did I bring up 28 days? It's the 28th of January. Why did I bring that up? Because they have studies that say the 17th of January, actually, is it 17th or 20th? 17th or 20th of January is when the vast majority of people stop working out. Why do I tell you this? Because I saw it. I go to the gym every day. The first week of January, it was mobbed. There was a line for the showers. Second week, mobbed. Line for the showers, couldn't get many weights. The classes were packed. What about last week? Nothing. Barely anything. Barely anything. Why? Because people noticed that January 1st, it's cold in New York City, and people don't want to get out of their bed. And the outcome of them getting trim or fit or energetic or enthusiastic didn't come quick enough. So guess what they did? They quit. Okay? What does Equinox do? Equinox, the gym I belong to, says if you go to the gym 6 times within your first 2 weeks, you get your initiation feedback. Why do they tell you that? Because when you go to the gym 6 times, they're trying to make you have a habit. And when you have the habit, you then renew, and then you come for another month, and then another month, and then another month, okay? And it's funny, I was reading something yesterday, and someone was talking about that one of the craziest things that's ever happened is that you understand a situation and you push so hard into that situation. It could be a relationship, your business, your life, even fashion, dressing correctly, having the right skills socially when you go out. To level up, you have to understand that it's all about the effort. Gary Vaynerchuk calls it a hustle. Yeah, you know what? I agree to the certain point because you can control that. You can control the amount of effort you put into it. The outcome of a great body, I don't know when it's going to come, but after 6 months of going to the gym, you're probably going to be in shape, or at least in better shape, okay? I don't know. I have no idea when it's going to come, okay? I have no idea when business is just going to take off. I have no idea when you're going to be confident or more comfortable talking to a girl out at the bar, or asking someone out, or having this social intuition to call out a girl that rarely, if ever, gets called out on her shit. Okay? And I just said, listen, I'm better than this. I'm better than handling this girl's little temper tantrum for 30 minutes. 2 years ago or 3 years ago, I would have put up with it. Why? Because I wanted an outcome for us to sleep together. Okay, this is one minor, and you're thinking, how does that apply to my life? Well, I'll tell you right now, there's something that you really, really want. Something that you really, really want. It could be something material like a watch or a car or a better phone or a computer or a TV or something like that. You really, really, really want this, but you're not getting it. So you either give up or you don't adjust, okay? So we'll go into the adjustment, all right? So this is what people say. Be yourself. Be yourself. What does that mean? Be yourself. Be yourself how? When? What? So when I'm does that mean be crazy? Because that's myself sometimes. Well, what about when I'm at a wedding and I'm quiet? Be myself then? No, this is what it means to be yourself online, okay? When you create content, because people want more followers or they want a legacy or things like that. There's 1,700 people that are subscribed to this channel. I used to care. I don't care anymore. Like, I care about you guys. I want clear, tangible results, and I want the subscriber amount to go up, but I'm not crying inside. I'm not saying, but I'm putting up social media content. I'm putting out all this good stuff. And I put it in quotes because in the book, The Subtle Art, which I have over there, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck is you're literally in life. You're learning because this is how wrong you are. And then over time, you want to just get a little less wrong, and you're never gonna meet. You're never gonna meet, okay? You're just gonna get a little less wrong. I look at it as you're gonna get a little bit better, okay? You're gonna get a little bit better about the social dynamics of selling, of understanding people that say, you know what? I think you're wrong. And then you say, how so? They tell you, and then you have the opportunity to either adapt or not take the feedback at all. So I'll go into this. I've been producing a ton of content on Instagram. My Instagram actual engagement has gone down. So I said, okay, the engagement has gone down, so I'm not gonna post 3 times a day or 2 times a day. I'm gonna do 1 a day. I'll see what it is then. You are still the same person. Here's another example, but you adjust, okay? Here's another example. I've been producing content, videos all the time, and again, the engagement has gone down a little bit. So I'm like, all right, the people don't really want to see that. It's not that you're different. It's that what you slice up. So say this is your whole video, a vlog. This is my whole vlog. I then slice it up into 6, 7 parts that are interesting, and I put it out there and I say, what do people want? Do they want to see homes? Do they want to see laughing? Do they want to see jokes? Am I here to entertain? What am I here to do? What do they like? All right, I am still the same person, but what I actually filter to them and filter out doesn't change, okay? You are still the same person with a girl or a guy or networking or your boss. It's just what part of you are you going to show them? You're not adjusting like a chameleon and being, this is how they want me to be a certain way, so then I be that way, okay? No, that's not good, okay? I'm saying, you have your personality, you have who you are, okay? And then you put that in front of the right people at the right time. This girl last night, I'm not usually mean, okay? I'm calling a for sale by owner. That's totally different than talking to a client. That's totally different than talking to someone that's listing a home. I'm the same person, but what I give them is different, okay? It's not you're saying, I'm really nice, I'm really nice, I'm really nice, I'm adjusting, I'm not gonna make anyone mad, I'm not gonna make any man. I get downvotes all the time. I was looking through the comments, this guy said something about talking too much and there's no point in structure and everything else. I know, that's what I do. So don't subscribe, you know? It's like, I then say, I'm gonna adjust, I'm gonna have bullet points and everything like that. So the original point, which I'm about to get back to, is it will hit something, whatever you want. The money, the fame, you wanna have 50-50, okay? 50-50 as in you want the material possessions because you can use it to leverage your time, like a private jet or flying first class or hiring people or having a virtual assistant. You know, that leverage is amazing. So that's external. But the internal is really where you're gonna live longer, you're gonna have a better business, you're gonna have a better relationship, and you're gonna love what you do, okay? The internal with the external is a deadly combination. That's a Tony Robbins, someone that loves what he does and is super freaking successful at doing it, okay? That's a Tom Ferry. You know, that's a Grant Cardone. You know, the guy that he loves his material things, maybe a little bit more than, say, me, but he understands he's doing this out of love, and he also loves his material things, all right? So it will happen, but focus on your effort. It's January 28th. What is one thing, my entire thing for 2017 last year was health. That's all I focused on. I said, this is my theme. For you, it could be a relationship. It could be your business. It could be getting smarter, reading, waking up. Just have one theme. Why? Because 2017, imagine adding one theme per year. After 10 years, you've got your health, you got your relationships, you got your business, you're waking up earlier. You have that. That's 4 years. So I focused on my effort going to the gym. The outcome came. Dude, I'm ripped. It's crazy. But I actually reached the point where I was ripped. Actually, no, I was really strong in college. I wasn't really, shredded in college. But I'm not used to these results. So you have to adjust. But the thing is, you have to focus on the effort. Why do I say that? Because something's going to happen where you get a huge amount of business or a large amount of money, and then guess what you do? You have that temperature gauge, and you either blow all of it because your temperature gauge is, I'm used to $100,000, I'm used to $150,000, and then 200 comes into your bank, so then you blow that 50K because you say, I'm not used to it. That was me. Same thing with the way that my body looked. You know, I was used to a regular standard, you know, a real shitty standard. My interior was completely ripped up and disgusting from all the sugar and all the bad stuff that I drank, all the alcohol and pizza and carbs and everything like that. And then I started focusing on the effort. And then guess what? I wasn't even focused on my body, but my body, it looks, I like the way it looks, but more importantly, the two things that actually came out of it that I really, really, really like, enthusiasm and energy. I had more energy in the afternoon than I ever would have if I didn't actually focus on that. So there's going to be outcomes besides the shredded body. Yeah, maybe have it as an outcome, but you can't focus on the outcome. A really good body, a lot of money, the private jet. Have that there, but it's all about the effort. All right. So if you guys have any questions, I know there's a couple of, Charles just made a move for all men around the world. I don't know what that means. But anyone that actually has any questions, obviously leave it in the comments below. To go back to that, all right. You know, this has nothing to do with the video, but I've been really thinking about it. There's this, obviously we're in the Me Too movement, hashtag Me Too, which is very important. Sexual harassment is no fucking joke. I've called out a lot of guys in the past for that. But if you think about it, there is a place for femininity and masculinity, okay? Everything, there's an on and off. There's a north and there's a south. There's a yes and a no. There's a yin and a yang. There's everything has, there's a, because you can't just have one thing. You have love and then you have scarcity. You have abundance and you have an arid, you know, there is no equilibrium. There will never be equality for all. It's all, their inequality is, there's a first place winner. There's only one person that could, or one team that wins the Super Bowl. That's inequality. You can't have every team winning the Super Bowl. You can't have 100 CEOs. That's inequality there. And I understand what you're talking about. What you're going to say is, you know, money and everything else. But understand is do the best you can to make it unequal in your favor. Okay? That's what I'm doing in life. I want to make it unequal in my favor because I didn't have business connections. I didn't grow up wealthy. I didn't grow up understanding anything. I had no knowledge. You know, Ty Lopez talks about knowledge and everything. By the way, what the fuck does Ty Lopez do? You know, how does he have this big ass house and travel private jets and whatever? Guy's great, but we need some more transparency. We'll just throw it out there. With regards to inequality, so I'm not talking about like the social inequality. I'm talking about the inequality of there could be only one person at the top of real estate. There could be only one person taking on a listing. Okay, that's inequality. The other three people that did not get the listing, that's inequality. Okay, you have one person. So you want to make the inequality, not the social, but the inequality in business, your life, your relationships, in your favor. How do you do that? Knowledge. How do you do that? Effort. When you put in the effort and you understand and you have faith, the F word, faith, is so freaking important. I think that needs to come out. Gary calls it patience. Gary Vaynerchuk calls it patience. I call it faith. You have to have faith that everything is going to work out. Everything, regardless of how bad it is right now, it will work out. All right? And just to go back to the relationship is when the feminine comes out, or when the feminine is there, the masculine comes out. When the masculine comes out, or when the masculine is there, the feminine comes out. Perfect example last night. I was a total loser. I got shut down hundreds, thousands of times. In high school, every girl I liked that was pretty put me in the friend zone. College, I got a little bit better. And then I said, okay, maybe I need to improve myself before I actually try and go for, you know, these girls that are just throwing me in the friend zone, just tossing me in there. That's inequality, by the way. Inequality is everyone else in the friend zone. Not everyone has a chance of going out on a date. So just think about that. It's one thing to just mull around in your mind. So I have so much to say on the relationship part because Why, Jordan Peterson, you obviously have heard of him. If you haven't heard of Jordan Peterson, you have to check him out. But I could tell you this, when you have someone like Jordan Peterson that is intellectually stimulating, has really good points, and he actually can package it so the majority of people, I bought his book, I think it's 12 Principles or 12 Rules to Live By. I bought his book. I'm waiting for the audiobook because I hope he reads it, and then I'm going to go through it with him as an audiobook. However, when you have a leader like that, because there's not many male good leaders out there, you grasp onto that. Gary's good, but he's more of a motivation, sort of practical, but Jordan Peterson is more life, more practicality, rules on how to live. Straighten your back is rule number 1. Rule number 2, and he goes through it. Highly recommend you guys talk it out. So the move with the bitchy girl, calling her out. Listen, I would say, with anyone, there is a level of respect and that you need to have for yourself. And if you don't have that level of respect, no one's going to respect you. So that could be time, money, in a conversation, if someone disrespects something, 99% of the time, I don't care because it's not worth my time. But if we're out and we're both trying to enjoy each other's, I'll give you another example. I've my videographer, awesome dude, love the guy, but there's time I'm like, dude, we got to move faster. We got to get this done. Charles, I'm doing as good as I can. There are times that's necessary. It's the yin and the yang, where you're soft, and then here's an example. In probably 95% of most relationships, you have the mother, obviously in a heterosexual relationship, you have the mother who's nurturing, who's like, yes, you can do it, you can win, you can do it, from Waterboy. And then you have the father who's the discipline and the guy that says, stop, okay? So my mom would yell at me pretty much every day of my life, not like aggressively, but she's like, stop doing that, just regular nurturing, okay? My dad would get mad at me once a month and not talk to me for 2 days. And then I knew I fucked up, okay? When my dad didn't talk to me, I'm like, all right, maybe I shouldn't do that again. Maybe I shouldn't take a baseball bat and ball and put it through our window. Maybe I shouldn't do that in the future. You'd walk out and be like, what the hell? Well, what are you doing, dude? So the discipline, you need both. You need the nurturing, which is, yes, you can do it. Because if you just have nurturing and no discipline, they're just this free-flowing little buoy out in the water, and they're clueless. I have friends that are like that. They grew up and everything was given to them, a car, big beautiful house, vacations, and they went to the best schools and everything else. There's no discipline. Then I have other friends that they only have discipline and they can't enjoy life because they're like so rigid. They're 9 to 5, and this is what we do. No, we don't deviate. I need to know everything just squared away. So I know I completely went off topic there. If you guys have any questions, thank you everyone that's obviously watched. We're going to end it down. Actually, we'll answer Chris's, hey Charles, how do you build an abundance mindset and move from a scarcity mindset? It's all self-talk. Everything in the world, I've been really mulling this over for the last, say, month and a half, is any kind of scarcity mindset is so detrimental to your life. I would say that's the number one reason for, I would say that's almost the number one reason for disease, because disease is dis-ease of the body. Ease is you're meditating, you're aware of your surroundings, you're ensuring that your entire life is happening for you and instead of to you. When you're saying this bad event of someone dying or my bankruptcy or losing my job is happening for me instead of to me, that's totally different, okay? That's an abundance mindset. Abundance is also faith. So I would say scarcity is, I had scarcity in a lot, relationships with girls. I had scarcity with money. I had scarcity with friendships. Also going deep into a relationship. So I have to work on that as well. And I had to change my mindset. So the 2 books I recommend for that, number 1 is Psycho-Cybernetics, and Watch the Way, or What You Talk to Yourself Matters, or How to Talk to Yourself That Matters. Look them up. And it's amazing because Everything in our mind, everything that we've created everything. We've created the life, our body, our mindset, the people we hang out with, what time we wake up, what time we go to bed, how long we're on social media, how much time we watching TVs, how many books, what do we eat, what do we put in our mouth, everything we've created, everything. Nothing has been pushed on you. Yes, obviously your family and where you live initially, but you can literally pick up, you could do this, on 99.9 do not do this, but you can literally pick up and go to Fiji. Or I had a client that literally bought a place. She goes, you know what, Charles, I'm going to Africa. And now we rented out her place. And now she's in Africa, middle of nowhere. I haven't talked to her since, but her place is rented in New York City. She got up away from her family. She wasn't married, she's single. Got up and just went. And she's volunteering. She's a doctor, okay? So you can do that. So instead of saying, this is one of the biggest things that I've learned, instead of saying, I have to, or I must, I have to go to this event, or I must keep on dating this person, you must say the words, I choose. I choose abundance. I choose this relationship. I choose. So that means you actually have it's like, I'll give you an extreme example. You're in a relationship and your girlfriend starts, giving you shit and whatever. You can say, and I see you outside and I'm like, dude, why are you all pissed off? And you go, well, I got into a fight. I said, leave her. And he goes, I can't do that. No. And I understand it's nomenclature and everything else, but say, I choose to stay. How empowering is that? I choose to stay, so I'm going to work it out. I choose to be in this relationship or this company. I choose to do that. I choose to focus on effort instead of the outcome. I choose an abundance mindset. And through literally almost daily, every single day I wake up, well actually no, I'm sorry, every weekday I wake up and I have a sheet and I read that sheet and I go through it and I say, one of them is my business and everything else, and I just think of abundance. I look around, I'm like, look at the abundance of business. Never talk ill will on someone that's doing anything that's better than you. In real estate, there's obviously clearly thousands of brokers that are doing better than me. I don't look at them and I'm saying I'm jealous. I say, you know what, look at all the business they're doing, okay? That's the competition, all right? I look at it as more of a partnership, but you have to understand how you talk to yourself is everything. Is this the only relationship I could get in? When you're at a bar, abundance is literally freedom, okay? And that's what guys want. Girls, they want more stability and protection. Guys, we want freedom. The girl yesterday, literally, I put her in her place and then I walk out, she's sitting on a bench and I go and I put my arm around her and I'm like, how crazy is life? I've known the girl a total of 2 hours. 2.5 hours. I met her out through a friend and she goes like this. That's all she wants. She wants protection and comfort. I didn't give her that. So when I went over and I did that, the outcome was, let's go home together. But I said, you know what? Focus on the effort. The effort right there was, you know what? Go over. I didn't apologize, but I just said, look how crazy life is. This is nuts. This is amazing what we just went through. For 2.5 hours, we really butted heads, okay? Oh, I think that's good. All right, so how do you build that from scratch? You have to, it's all mindset, 100% all mindset in the way you talk to yourself. So work on how you talk to yourself. How do you recognize talking to yourself? Number one is limit the amount of stimulation you go through. You must limit the amount of stimulation you go through. Stimulation of TV, food, social media, movies, YouTube clips. When we are getting stimulated probably in 5 days what our ancestors had their whole life. And we're doing that in 5 days. That's why we're addicted. You go onto a subway, they're addicted. That's why I'm confident, because I'm not addicted. I use it as a tool. I use it as a resource. I use it to make my life easier. I don't use it for entertainment, okay? That is the number one thing 2018 you should work on, is that 2017, I worked on weaning myself off, okay? So I put in the tools and everything in place. I put my Facebook in a folder on the second page of that folder, and Instagram's the only one that's there. But when I catch myself, just like your thoughts, listen to how you talk to yourself. Listen to how you talk to yourself. That's how you stop. When a girl shuts you down or a girl is being a bitch, what's your thing? When you wake up and your alarm goes off, do you get out of bed? Or what are your excuses? I'm tired. I'm hungover. It's cold. I don't want to. I'll go tomorrow. It's not that big of a deal. I don't see the actual results. I don't see the outcome. What do you say when you talk to yourself? You have to pay attention. All right. So I'm going to keep on. P.S. Bob Proctor has a new book. That's awesome. Thank you for letting me know. I love Bob Proctor. He's the OG, man. There are people in my life. I want Grant Cardone's relationship with his wife. I want Gary Vaynerchuk's hustle, Jordan Peterson's ability to orate, and Tony Robbins' legacy and influence. You know, so I look at each person differently. I don't look at Gary and be like, I want to be Gary. I look at Gary and say, I want to have the comfort and the ability to confidently talk on a stage. Jordan Peterson's ability to orate. You know, the guy's 55, 60 years old. He's been going at this for 30 years. All right? This isn't overnight. All right? Continuing, abundance, but trying to be more minimalistic. Listen, you know, Chris, you know, I'm just going to throw some tough love is I do it every day. I do it multiple times a day. In other words, I think about what I'm saying. It's not just one time. This is, you're going to do this forever. Forever. Until you die, okay? How am I talking to myself? What am I saying to myself? Here's an example is the guy Brian Johnson. Anytime that he does something that's really good, he goes, that's just like me. Anytime he does something good, I wake up, I get right out of bed. That's just like me. So your body and your actions align and your mind says, oh shit, this is like me. My actions are not to stay in bed. That's not like me. We do everything we can to ensure that we are in alignment with who we think we are. I am a straight female that lives in New Jersey who likes tall men and plays soccer. You live into that, okay? What did I just say? I just brought up a gender. I brought up an age. I brought up a location. I brought up something that she does, which is playing soccer. You live into that, okay? So you do anything to protect that. So if you live into the amount of money or your mindset or abundance, you live into that, okay? So to change that, it is not easy. That is the hardest thing to do. Changing a habit is harder than changing your mindset because your mindset is not on an actual action you take. Stopping to smoke, you just stop smoking, okay? Changing the mindset of I'm bored, I'm going out for a cigarette is the challenge. Okay? You just stop putting a cigarette in your mouth. You stop smoking. But the mindset of changing that, or the mindset of going on TV or listening to music or whatever when you're bored, that's a mindset change. You don't want to be alone with your thoughts. And I'm not saying you, society, okay? All right, so any other questions, leave it. She leaned on you because she now respects you. Yeah, that's true. You have to put your foot down every once in a while. 100%, you have to just respect yourself. Excited for Bob Proctor's book because it's the art of thinking. Oh, that's freaking awesome. Thank you. So that's it for today. If you guys have any questions, leave it. I think I'm going to do an ask, you know, like just a thing that Tom Bilyeu does, which is just questions and answers and whatever. So I'm going to leave it here. Have an awesome day. If you guys have any questions, leave it below. And of course, I'm going to answer it. I'm going to make some short videos right after this. I'm just going to pump it out through the week and into next week. And listen, January 28th, what have you done? Okay. Number one, have one focus for the entire year. That's it. If it's waking up early, that's all you focus on. You just focus on waking up. How do I wake up? It's the night before. Okay. What am I doing the night before? I'm drinking too much. Okay. Stop or limit or don't drink. Okay, I'm going to bed too late. Okay, let's focus on, that's one thing of waking up early. Waking up early is not easy, okay? There's excuses, there's weather, there's someone with you, you're tired, blah, 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 you're hungry, you're thirsty, whatever, okay? That's all excuses. So have an awesome day. Leave your comments below. I'm gonna cut it out for now. Talk to you guys soon. Subscribe.